Traveling for weddings is never easy, and we take a lot of stuff. I needed a way to figure out how to cram a ton of gear into a small amount of bags and be able to throw this on a plane, get to my destination, and with the help of one of these, you actually can do it a lot easier and pretty cheap. Now let's get into it. I'm using Think Tank bags, some of my favorite bags of all time. My main two bags that I love to use, these are my two carry-on bags, and not necessarily carry-on like you think. This is my roller bag, and then this is my backpack. And both of these pack all the things that will allow me to do my job if nothing else showed up. So if this bag or if my Pelican didn't show up, I could still do my job. I could still show up and film. I got all my lenses, I got all my camera bodies right here with me. First, we're gonna look at the Airport Security 3.0. Now, one of the things I love about the Think Tank bags is all of them actually come with their very own like security cable. Like it literally built into the bag, wrap this around something, and you can lock it into itself so that you can't run off with the case. Absolutely love that. We actually just used this in the Dominican. We had to leave all our bags at one of the spots while we went on the boat trip, and we just basically bungeed all the bags together using these cables and locked it with a TSA lock, and just had a little bit of peace of mind knowing that everything was gonna stay there. Now looking at the inside, now with this one, I usually keep like my jacket or something here, I'll put it on the inside, and then I keep my laptop in this front pouch. You get tons of pocket options with this case. I mean tons of pocket options. I keep my SSDs here, I keep cables for all of my transferring and things like that, and then I also keep my laptop here in the back. You also get a spot for your tablet here in the front. Now looking at the inside of the case, I carry a lot of stuff. Now this is my audio bag slash lens slash drone. Now we look at the lid, like I said, the Think Tank bags, have a ton of storage spaces, lots of zippers. Up here, I got my OWC CFast 2.0 adapter where I can actually transfer my footage. I got some extra time code cables, all my leg straps and belt pouches for my mics. I've got my two super fast 65-watt chargers. This is actually to charge my V-mount batteries. And then in the body of the case, now this is the biggest thing. I can fit an entire 24-105 lens straight up in the body of the case, because what they did is they actually allowed the bottom part of the case to be a little bit deeper, almost about 1.5 inches deeper, because of where the actual handle slides out. It stops about 3/4 of the way in. So this bottom part, I can set an entire lens straight down into it and close it, and we're perfectly good to go. Now I've also been able to do this with a 24-70, a 70-200. Your longer lenses, they fit perfectly straight up in this case, and it makes it super easy for traveling. I also carry my go-to microphone. This is for interviews. This is the Audio-Technica AT4053B. Trust me, do yourself a favor. If you're looking for a budget short condenser shotgun mic, this is your guy to go with. Don't worry about any of the other ones. This one sounds incredible and is honestly priced really well. Now I carry all my lapel mics, so all 15 lapel mics. I've got a bunch of Rode mics. I've got 5 Sanken CAS 11Ds and 5 Sennheiser MKE2s. I carry all of these mics. Underneath that, I carry my Rode NTG3. Now this is ready and already ready to go onto my rig. I use the iFootage quick release clamps. These things are a game changer. Like I haven't made a video on these, but I didn't even know friction arms could get a level up, and they leveled it up. You gotta check out the iFootage spider crafts, that's what they call them, but these things have quick release attachments that literally clip into the actual friction arm and make it very fast to go from one spot to another. Next to that, I've got my Red monitor. So this is made by Small HD. It's the Red, the DSMC3 touch control monitor, fully controls the Red Komodo X. I only use 2 lenses, well, 1 lens technically, the entire wedding day. Now that Canon's dropped the 24-105 f2.8, these are the best lenses. Like, I don't care what anybody says. I've been wanting something like this. Canon dropped it, extremely sharp, super smooth focus control. You got an aperture ring at the front, customizable with your RF lenses. You got a stepless aperture ring down here, zoom internal, like it's just everything you wanted in a lens. So much gear, bro, so much stuff. All right. Now, my ND filters of choice, I use the Peter McKinnon variable ND. This is actually the new Helix design, which is super sick for actually being a run and gun filmmaker. To be able to pop off your traditional ND filters, you gotta thread them on, thread them off. This design makes it super simple. You literally just click, pop it off. Now I got this, it's ready to roll. I've been using the Peter McKinnon ND filters for a long time. This is the 2nd edition. I don't use the ones with mist. I do all that stuff. I don't want anything altering my footage, but I've been using them for a long time. Threading them on and threading them off is a deal breaker for efficiency. So having something that's just a little bit faster like these, I actually learned to love them. Now, after all my ND filters, I carry a bunch of batteries. You can only travel with up to 2 150 watt-hour batteries per person. So keep that in mind. So I've got a bunch of CG Cine 99 watt-hour batteries. I love these because they show your battery percentage, but then they also allow you to charge it with the fast charge USB-C. And I think that's just super clutch. I also got a few of the Kane TV mini 99 watt hours all in here. My go-to cable system, shout out Matt Johnson, legit, like one cable pouch is all you need. You got every single cable that's common. I also carry my XLR splitter because that's just what I love to do when getting audio. I don't like to go into the board. I like to split the feed from the source. I have whole videos on that. We're not gonna get into that right now. But if you're looking for a good cable system or you're trying to figure out what cable should I actually take to a wedding, right here, this is what you need. Condor Blue, Matt Johnson, the only ultimate wedding cable pack that you need. Under that, I got all my timecode devices, all my deity TC1s, speaks for itself. More V-mount batteries because power is everything. I've got a total of 17 microphones. We've got 15 of the deity BP-TRX, and then I've got 2 of the Tentacle Syncs. Now, spoiler alert, I'm not really a big fan of the Tentacle Sync. I thought I was, but I'll do a whole video on why I'm not as enthused about these. Moving on. Now we got more V-mount batteries. Like I said, you can take 2 150 watt hours. I only got one, so I carry one of these big boys. This is typically for my lights, which we'll get into that in a second. The very front, I got my wireless pros because content is king. I never know when I want to make content. I also got my drone, entire drone, guys. Mavic 3 Pro just dropped right into the front of this case. Look at that. You got storage for days. This case makes it so simple for packing gear and having tons of stuff to go with it. Now, on the right side, I also got all my top handles for my Red Komodo X, so I can rig it up and once I get to my location. And then we got another friction arm here. And this is what I was talking about, the actual eye footage friction arm, how it has these quick release attachments. Because like I said, all you gotta do now, when I wanna hook up my shotgun mic, is pop this in and lock it, and now we're good to go. Oh, I don't want it on here anymore, pop it off, hit the button and you're good to go. And it has a quick release button, so you don't have to worry about it actually falling off. You don't have to lock this and think your gear is gonna fall off. You physically have to press this release button and then pull it out. So this just gives you a little bit of peace of mind knowing if you forget or if this gets loose, you got one extra level of protection. And that's everything that's in my roller case. Now this is the heaviest one because it's got all the batteries, it's got all the rigging stuff, it's got the drone. This is the heaviest one. I'm one of those guys where I want all my heavy stuff to be pulled. I don't want to put that on my back. So if we go over to my backpack, this is also another Think Tank backpack. It's got zipper pouches for days. I carry my thesis. Now, I should make a whole video on this. If you struggle to stay motivated or you struggle to stay focused, this is what you need. In the front pouch, I carry all my extra SD cards. In this other pouch here, I like to carry my Surface Pro. This is kind of my go-to, like on the laptop or on the plane type of device. I can get some emails done, watch some Netflix, you know, stuff like that. I got more transfer cables here in this pouch. And then in the body, this is where all my camera bodies are at. So I've got extra batteries here. This is my NP batteries and then my Nikon and Lumix batteries. I've got extra XLR cables and extra timecode cable here, and another one of those CG Cine 65 watt power adapters. And then here, all the camera bodies that I typically travel with. So I travel with the Red Komodo X. We've got 2 more ND filters, Red Komodo X, OG Red Komodo, the Nikon Z8, and the Panasonic S5. The S5 is my reality camera. This is where we suction cup the camera up to the wall, and we get these really cool angles and just different unique angles when, you know, the bride's in the bridal suite or something like that. The lenses that I like to bring is my, so right now we've got the Nikon 14-24, f2.8. We've got the Nikon 24-120 f4. Now this is a game changer. Definitely got to make a video on this lens. I mean, it's not really the lens, it's the whole system, but 24-120 just ups it a little bit more. We're used to seeing 24-105. It's insanely sharp. I didn't notice any chromatic aberration, and I know this is supposed to be like a kit lens, but I honestly think this is a great go-to lens, an all-day lens, if you're in the Nikon ecosystem. And then next to that, I've got all my NPF batteries. One thing I actually wanted to point out about batteries is you have to carry these onto the plane. So you cannot check batteries into any of your luggage. If you do, TSA, they do sometimes check your checked luggage, and you'll see a little TSA slip on the inside. If they see batteries, they just confiscate them. No warning, no notice, no, hey, you can get it back. It's just gone. You're gonna show up to your location thinking you're ready to shoot and have no batteries. So do yourself a favor, put all your batteries, V-mounts, NPFs, every battery into your carry-on bags. Take that onto the plane with you. Now I carry about 8 or 9 NPF batteries. This is for my the lights that we use, the spotlights that we use, also the secondary monitor for the OG Red Komodo. Over here, I've got both of my audio recorders. So I've got 2 Zoom F6s. And then we've got our monitor. Now this monitor is for the OG Komodo. This is the Hollyland Mars 4K. Super dope because it transmits, so I can pull out the app on my phone and I can actually see the feed from my B cam shooter. So if I'm like, hey man, you got too many stops at ND, go to ND2, I can let them know because I can look at their feed right from here. And I see all the camera controls. So I see their f-stop, I see their white balance, I see their ISO, all that stuff that matters. I see all their false colors right from my phone. The other lens that we love to bring is the 85-1.2 by Nikon. Now let me tell you, this is my favorite lens for speeches, for first dances, pretty much anything that doesn't need a lot of zoom ability, if you want to call it that. Like I know that I'm gonna be locked in. First dances, getting that depth. I love shooting at 1.2, even if I gotta slap some NDs on it. It just has a crazy, crazy depth of field. I'm not paid to say this, so yes, Nikon did loan me this gear, but best believe that I'm buying this with my own money, and this is gonna go into the kit because 8K, or I'm sorry, 8.3K up to 60 frames per second, 12-bit internally compressed RAW. Guys, like, I'm just gonna stop there. That's all I need to say. And that's gonna wrap up my 2 carry-on bags. Now, like I said, if I was to show up on shoot and my checked bags didn't show up, I got everything I need to do my job. It won't be the best because I don't have my easy rig, but I can still get the job done and there's no stress. I got mics, I got time code, I got cameras, got lenses, we are good to go. Now you're probably wondering, well, what do you check if you got everything with you? Great question. Let's move over to an even bigger Think Tank bag. This is the Think Tank Production Manager 50. This is the largest bag that they sell. And guys, when I tell you this bag is a game changer, it is a game changer. Now I'm gonna release this here. One thing I do want to point out before I even go into what all we carry is I actually added a little reinforcement to the case because it's a soft shell case with a hard shell kind of corners and bottom. But I wanted to make sure that the top, if they were to slam this into something, drop it, I didn't want gear on the inside to break. So what I did is I took a piece of 1/4-inch birch and I slid it into the lid of the case. Now, the only reason why I did this is just from some extra reinforcements, and you can see they already broke it, so it did its job. Like, it's protecting some of the stuff on the inside. So I slide this into the lid, zip that closed. Now I got a nice little hard exterior. So if we open this up, on the lid of the case, you see you got all these different pockets, 5 different pockets. And this main one here, I've got my attachments for my Godox lights as well as the earpieces for my Hollyland headsets. And then if we go on this other side, I have just a basic XLR cable. This is for my reception speeches, or if I needed an extra long cable, it's a 25-foot cable, slides in there. I actually wanted to point this out because they send you so many padded dividers for the case. Like, look at this. This is how much they have. So every time it's time to repack, we just gotta keep mapping out new stuff and coming back to the drawing board. But they give you every single divider that you would need. Not a lot of companies do that. Now, looking at the case itself, what are we having here? I've got my base plate for the Red Komodo X. I've got my so my lighting kit that I like to use is the Sirui A200 Buy. I haven't done a video on this and I probably should, but this is probably the best travel-friendly light. Built-in softbox, it's actually a blow-up light, so it inflates when you plug it up. It has a nice app that you can control it with. You got the ballast here. We've got the power cable, we've got the mount attachment that goes on the light stand, and the power ballast here. And then underneath that, I've got my suction cup. Again, this is the friction arm that I was talking about from iFootage. These bad boys, I can't stop talking about them because they're just that dope. I can literally pop this off. Now I can go somewhere else with this friction arm, pop it back on. We're good to go here. I can also attach, like I said, my mic or a camera or whatever we want, suction cup this somewhere. It's just a very versatile friction arm. Now underneath that, I've got my tripod. The tripod that I'm using is the Suray SV75. And I swear by this tripod because it's just a very fast, simple, lightweight tripod, one latch design or one twist design. And this is the remake. I did a video on the original one, and that one actually has gotten discontinued. This is the redesigned version, very similar, twist to unlock. It unlatches both levels, and then you can twist it again to relock it. Moving on to this front part is my lighting kit. So the lights that I've been currently using, V-mount charger, forgot about that. Got to charge batteries on the fly. The lights that I've been using for the better part of the last 3 years have been the Godox ML60 buys. Now, I don't recommend buying these today because there's a lot other options out that are a lot cheaper. Right now, I would look into the Amaran 60X. There's also some new lights coming out that I'll be making a review on. They haven't dropped yet, so I'm not gonna say the name of them so y'all don't look them up. But when I actually get my hands on them, I'll make a review on those. Those might be the ones that we end up going with. Now, in front of that, I've got 3 of the, this is the mounts to actually mount the ML60 buys to the light stands. I love to carry these little gel softeners just in case I need a pop of light, but I need it to be soft, maybe in a bridal suite. I'm doing an interview. This is kind of like a mock shift, like little, just a little piece of diffusion. Softens the light really well. Of course, we carry our reflectors, so we've got 3 reflectors. In front of that, I've got my gimbal, so I've got the RS4, as well as the follow focus motor and the cable so I can control the actual motor from the gimbal. In front of that, I've got my headsets, which are the Hollyland Solidcom C1 Pros. I can't talk about these things enough. Noise cancellation, I mean, it's just amazing. You gotta use them. Audio clarity is top notch. The volume, the loudness control is amazing. Like everything about these headsets, super lightweight, so you don't feel like you're carrying like a ton of weight on your head all day. They're the OGs, they're the GOATs. And then underneath that, I've got my Nanlite Pavo tube, the 6C. This is a go-to. I love using this for receptions. I love using it. Sometimes I'll hold it up like this to get like a client testimonial or a little quick guest interview at the end of the wedding. Like, hey, how was the ceremony? And I'm holding this up. Or how was the reception? How much fun did you have? And they're drunk, like, oh, we had so much fun. Like, stuff like that. That's where this light comes in. I'm still in the production manager. So this is wild how much gear you actually get in this. But in front of that, I got my Rode NTG8. Boom. This is the mic that they told you not to worry about, okay? This has the best noise rejection. I've never heard anything this powerful before. Rode NTG8, probably make a video on this separate someday soon. In front of that, I got my boom pole, another Rode, the Rode boom pole. I don't think this is the micro. This is the micro, the Rode boom pole micro. And then we've got these light stands, which these are Impact air cushioned link light stands. These are the best light stands. Again, I didn't know that friction arms could get a level up, just like I didn't think light stands could get a level up. But watch this, okay? I'm about to pull out 3 light stands for you, okay? 3. Come on, man. 3 light stands. All you gotta do to release it, hit this little quick release button, boom. What? 3 light stands. They fold flat. It's air cushioned. It's 13 or 12 feet tall. Come on, guys. This is just like the best possible light stand for traveling because it's lightweight and they lock together. You can keep adding to them and they fold flat. So getting them in the case is just super simple. The footprint is super small. I can honestly get a 4th light stand on here if I wanted to. It just makes it super, super simple for traveling. And that's the Production Manager 50. I swear, if you're looking for a case and you're just like, look, I need to get everything all in one, the case is super lightweight. When we check this, we're right around 89 pounds. The weight limit is 99 pounds with all major airlines, so you can't go above 99 pounds. This is 89 pounds with all this stuff. 3 light stands, 3 lights, the reflectors, the gimbal, a tripod, the boom pole, the mic. Like, it's so much stuff in this case. It's only 89 pounds. It's wild, blows my mind. Now, speaking of weight, y'all probably looking like, bro, there's no way you're traveling with all this on your own. Well, it is. And I'm gonna show you how we're doing that. Coming over here to the Pelican 1660. Now, you're probably looking, I've got this bungee cord at the bottom, but this is the best hack for traveling. This is the best hack for traveling. We built this from Harbor Freight. All it is a simple furniture dolly. Now I want to show you the little improvement that we made on it. So we hit this latch. The reason why we do this is so that when you're traveling, when you go from like your shuttle, or let's say you go from the shuttle to the car, or from the car into the airport, your dolly stays on the bottom until you get to check the bag. Once you check the bag, you take the dolly off, the dolly goes inside the case, everything checks, the dolly is safe, your gear is safe. When you land, you go to baggage claim, you open the case back up, put the dolly back on, everything stacks on top of it, and you can push and go. I'm telling you, this is a game changer, and it's only like 20 bucks, all right? So let me show you what we did to the actual dolly itself. On the bottom of the dolly, to prevent this thing from slipping, we added these little nubs to the bottom, and we used a 1/4-20 to 3/8 adapter and basically bolted it through. Now, if you look at the bottom of the Pelican, you have these two little holes at the bottom. These nubs fit directly into it like this here. And what that does is when you start to push the main case here, the Pelican, won't slide off the dolly. So you can go over like your door jams and things like that. If sometimes you're going over a curb and it's got bumps, you don't have to worry. If the wheels get caught, you give it a little push, the case and everything will slide with it. And we added these little nubs here, these 3/8 adapters, as an extra reinforcement so that the bolt itself doesn't bend. It's literally a game changer, and we bungee that to the case so that when we're traveling, I can go into the shuttle or the rental car shuttle or something like that, and I don't have to take the case on and off or worry about this falling off every single time. I can leave it, treat it as if it's a part of the case, and then once I get to baggage claim, I drop it in the case. Now, I use the Pelican 1660, but this case also works, or this dolly also works with the Pelican 1560. Inside this, I actually use this for all my easy rigs and my clothes. And my fanny pack that I use during the weddings. I use to pack a bunch of extra gear and run around all day with this. This packs all my clothes and my 2 easy rigs, my fanny pack and the cart, and it usually is about 90 pounds, 95 pounds. So we get all of this. This allows me to be able to pack and stack all of these other cases on top of it, and then I can push this. Now the beauty is I can get full 360 movement with this case. So if I was sitting here like this, I can maneuver basically anywhere I need to because the case can turn on a dime. Game changer for traveling, game changer for doing this solo. This is basically what we use for flying. In the event that we needed more gear, we do have an extra, one of the think tanks is a Production Manager 40, basically a little bit shorter than this one. We can pack that one, stack it on top, push it with ease. I really don't like checking like lenses and camera bodies, mainly because if something was to happen and a bag does get delayed, I don't want to run the risk of not being able to do my job when I land. So I take all things vital with me onto the plane, and then everything that I can still do my job without, if it got lost forever or delayed, is gonna get checked. This is what I used to travel with. Hopefully I answered y'all question. Now, if there's something that I left out or you got other questions about a specific one of these cases, drop them in the comments below. And until the next video, y'all keep creating, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, happy traveling. Oh yeah, make you one of these. It's a game changer. Screenshot right now. 3, 2, 1, gone.
Let me know if you're trying to slide, we can slip right through. If you need some more time, you can get that too. By the end of the night, I better leave with you.